Okay, here we go. $5,000 was placed into a savings account that pays 4% interest on January 1st, 2000. The amount of money in the account can be modeled by the following equation where T represents the number of years. What we're going to do right now is we are going to highlight the most important parts. Please do not highlight anything unless I ask you to. The very first part is you always have to know what is the initial time. Up here, write initial. That's always something we have to identify. And then you have to know in terms of what time period are we working with. So T is in terms of years. I'm going to come off to the side. I'd like you to do the same. Y is in terms of money. And I'm going to write since, and I'm going to write January 1st, 2000. T, or I can write X. T and X are being the same thing, is going to be years. T is in terms of years. Those are all important things. I put them off to the side that you need to know. So we're going to grab our calculator, and if you have not done so right now, we're always going to take and we're going to restart it after every word problem. Please do the same. We're going to go up to Y equals, and we have 5,000 times 2.18. Now, how do I get up to an exponent? It's going to be the key that's above the division sign. It's called the caret key. It looks like an upside down V. And I'm typing in 0.04. Now, you may be saying, but there's no T. X is the same as T. Next, we are going to analyze our X's. So I want you to come over here and write, X, by the way, is the same as T. So write T equals 0. Way up here, write T equals 0. This is when T is 0. I don't care about anything prior to January 1st, 2000. Now, look at this. If I have to go from 2000 to 2003, how many more years is that? 3. Okay? From 2000 to 2005 is how many more years? 5. Here's 5. Here's 9. Does everybody see that? I need to go at least 9 years. So let's adjust this right now. Let's go to Windows. We do not care about negatives because we're starting at January 1st, 2000, and that's our year 0. And let's go out to at least 10. Let's go to at least 10. Now, we're going to adjust this some more, but I would like you to start by hitting zoom 0. Zoom 0. Can I have a thumbs up or thumbs down if your graph looks the same as mine? Now, turn to your partner if you don't have this and help them out. Next up, for those that have it, we need to put in these numbers. This is really easy to get points on a test. You're going to go to Windows. We're going to go from 0 to 10. And then over here for minimum, we're going to type in, we're going to go from 5,000 up to 6828.93. And you're like, how do I know what to round to? We're talking about money. Money is always going to round to the nearest hundredth. Then I'm looking at this graph, and I'm literally doing what it looks like. I'm giving a rough graph of what this looks like. I already have A done. I've put it into a window. I've stated what my window is for X and Y minimum and vice versa, and then I have graphed it. Good to go. All right, now we're taking that highlighter back out. And we are going to highlight what we're trying to find. We're going to underline what we're given. Two different things. So please write how much money, highlight it. Anytime you say how much money, 4 times in a row, how much money. That's what I'm trying to find. I'm going to underline the given. Underline the given information. Don't highlight it fully. Underline the given information. The reason I put this off to the side before we started is it's kind of like a little table that tells me what I'm trying to find here. How much money? Okay, money is associated with the Y's. So underneath this, I want to write Y equals and make a line. Okay, Y equals, because I don't know. Each one of these first 4 parts that I'm going to do starts with how much money. So Y equals. How did I know that? Y talks about money. T, or X, talks about years. I'm going to use T because that's what I'm supposed to be using, right? Even though we know on the graphing calculator it's X. So T equals, and this is the given information. Now this is where students start to get a little confused. From January 1st, 2000 to January 1st, 2003 is exactly how many years? 3 years. Don't do anything more. We'll come back and figure that out later on. From January 1st, 2000 to January 1st, 2005 is exactly how many years? 5. All right, now here's where it throws off. When I look at D and E, why is it more confusing? Because it didn't stay with January 1st. Does everybody see that? So now I'm not going to have an exact number of years. I'm going to have this leftover portion. So let's first just start with this. I'm going to draw an arrow down. How many years have surpassed from January 1st, 2000 to February 1st, 2005? Just years. 5. So everybody put down a 5 and then put a plus. And then you're going to make a fraction, and on the bottom is going to be 365. Why? Because we're going to have this leftover number of days. And we need to put it in terms of just years because T represents years. So I'm going to grab my calendar, and we don't need to turn it back to 2005. I want to know from January 1st to February 1st exactly how many days. So I'm going to come up here. Okay, January has how many days in it? Everybody can see how many days? 31, but I need to go to February 1st, which is one more day, so that's 32 days in all. So this is 32 over 365. Plugging it into the calculator to achieve the amount of money that's in the account will be the easy part. We're going to do it later. Please don't do it now. Please don't do it now. Okay, next up, we're going to find April 1st, 2009. So please draw an arrow down to 2009. Exactly how many years have passed? 9 full years. But then there's this leftover part, and you're like, Ms. Bradley, how do I know there's this leftover part? Because it's not January 1st. It's not cut and dry. There's this extra. So what I would like you to do right now is I'd like you to grab a calculator and press clear. Just press clear. Don't restart it. Don't do second plus 7, 1, 2. We're just going to press clear. We're going to count all the way up to February 1st. So you ready? We're starting here. Please type in 31 onto your calculator just like I'm doing. Okay, February, we have 28. Got it. March, we have how many? 31. And we need to go to April 1st, which is one more day. So how many extra days do we have? 91. So this is going to be 91 over 365. Now, we're going to do the simple part. Grab your calculator, please, and go back to graph. If for some reason you were never able to achieve this, just move closer to your partner who has this. Okay, we are going to use calculator operations that we learned in the last few days. Please do this with me. Go second, calculate value, type in 3. What does this mean? 3 years after this initial amount, this is how much money we can assume would be in the account. $5,490 rounded and 16 cents. Let's do the next question. Second, calculate value 5. Exactly 5 years after this initial amount, there would be $5,843.34. Easy enough. Now, I'm going to plug in this next one with you a little bit slower. Remember, anytime we use fractions, we're going to use parentheses. So please go second, calculate value, and then I'm going to slow it down. 5 plus, now in parentheses will be 32 divided by 365. And our answer would be $5,859.33. Okay, are you ready? Let's see how fast you can do option E. Go ahead. How fast can you find option E? Get the answer and then check with your partner. Oh, you know what? Mine says failed. Anybody else see failed? Let me check again. Maybe I plugged it in wrong. 9 plus 91 divided by... Oh, there we go. I must have just hit a wrong button. I provided 2 more additional problems outside of B, C, D, and E that are similar. So for the students that are live with me, I asked them to write into this space right now. I asked them to write down this time. And then they're going to come up with this. So if you're with me and you're following along in this video, what do? So from 2000 to 2002 is 2 additional years. Oh, we got extra. So I'm grabbing my calculator, and I'm going back to January. And I can see there's 31 days in January. But then to that, I have to add 14 more days because I go to the 14th. So 14 plus 31 is a total of what? 45 over 365. I'll come back and plug it in later. Okay, from 2000 to 2004 is 4 years. And now I have to go all the way up to June 1st. So I'm grabbing that calculator right now. I'm pressing clear, and here we go. January has 31. Everybody can see that. All right, February, in a normal February, has 28. March has 31. April has 30, May has 31, and I need to go to June 1st, which is one more day, and I have 152. 152. Now, what am I doing? I'm using that exact same. So I'm not going to take time to write it down just for the purpose of getting through this, but how would I calculate it? I'm going second trace value, 2 plus, when I have that fraction, I'm putting it into parentheses. This would be the amount that we can assume would be in the account on February 14th, 2002, and likewise on June 1st, 2004, we can assume that there would be $5,738 in the account.